Today I want to share what spirituality looks like for me alongside parenting, especially with a toddler, where long rituals and quiet moments aren't always realistic. Some days are beautiful, some days can be absolutely exhausting, and it can be really hard to just find even a couple of minutes to centre myself, especially in those tougher moments. Over time, I've realised that my spirituality hasn't disappeared since becoming a parent. It's just changed shape. It lives in much smaller moments now. But sometimes, often, those moments are enough. Being outside creates so many natural opportunities for connection, and I love sharing those with my toddler. He's nearly 2, so there isn't a deep understanding just yet, but there's an awful lot of curiosity. I like to show him sticks, stones, feathers, pine cones, and leaves. He's particularly fascinated by and really drawn to water, so he's often dropping stones into puddles or making little dams with stones where the water's running down the yard. I point out trees and I like to encourage him to touch the bark and the moss just to feel the textures. When it's windy, which it often gets here in Wales, especially at the foot of the Preseli's, he gets really excited. He absolutely loves the wind, and we will often just listen to the wind rushing through the trees outside. He seems to really enjoy that sound. He watches the birds at our bird feeder and now even makes his own crow noise when he hears them, which is very amusing. When we're out on our walks together and I'll point out the moon, he always says, "Wow." Those small moments of shared wonder feel quietly sacred. We're lucky to live fairly close to the coast, and the beach has become one of our favourite places to go. The rock pools, the sand, the sea air, the water itself. It's simple, sensory, and truly alive. To give him tactile experiences of the land feels natural in our parenting. And through that shared wonder, my earth-based spirituality continues, just in a different form. Spirituality with parenting is messy and imperfect. The exhaustion is real, and sometimes the most spiritual choice I can make is rest, rather than pushing myself into a ritual which I simply don't have the capacity for. Practices get interrupted. This is really hard for me, especially with my autism, so I've just learned to make shorter moments rather than longer ones. Sometimes grounding can be as simple as taking off my socks and standing on the floor. Sometimes I like to visualise roots growing out of my feet and going down into the earth. However, if my energy is particularly low that day, or if I'm feeling that exhaustion from parenting, another small reset I do is imagine the hands of Mother Earth actually coming up to meet me, to hold me in those moments and give me that grounding, supportive energy that I need, and that can really help. I still practice yoga, often with my toddler climbing all over me or attempting the poses himself. It is not serene, but it's joyful and chaotic. And the breath work still supports my nervous system. I use scent a lot. Incense, Palo Santo, essential oils, they help bring me back into my body when I'm feeling really overwhelmed. And sensory anchors like that are really important for me. I tend to save the longer rituals such as ceremonial cacao, tarot, meditation, Reiki for the evenings when he's asleep. But even then, they're still simple. I take the moments that I can, when I can. Being present with my child is also part of my spiritual practice. It requires effort and it requires regulation. Modelling calm is one of the most meaningful things that I can offer him. The idea of spiritual success can feel unreachable in everyday life, especially with children. But I don't believe that it has to look grand or uninterrupted. Small moments can be just as potent as large ones. Spiritual life doesn't disappear when you become a parent. It simply changes shape. And that shape can be quieter and messier, but it can also be more beautiful than we ever expected.